Alright, next one here, got some Renier calipers here, okay, made by General. And they're in pretty good shape, and look like they've seen much use there. Yeah, stainless steel, made in Italy, it says. Huh, interesting, I didn't know, I guess I never really looked at General calipers here. Oh, so these read, they read metric and inch here. So we get a 1/20th of a millimeter and a thousandth of an inch on the vernier. Okay, there's a 25-part vernier and a, what do we got there? 2, 4, 6, 10-part vernier. Okay. I don't know. Not a lot of people are using verniers anymore, although there's still, you know, there's not a lot of moving parts. So if you want something to last a long time, and the verniers will outlast dial calipers, you know, by a lot. All right, but they're not as quick to read. All right, thanks, John. All right, moving on. Another little grab bag here. Oh yeah, these are, I looked at these, kind of a selection of small pitch gears here. And now this might have something to do with photography here. So maybe these are change gears for some kind of automated camera setup or something like that. And some little bevel gears in there. What else? Spur gears. Uh-oh, reset button. Kind of cool. Little brass gears. I thought there was some helical gears in here, so okay. Anyway, some knobs. Anyway, cool little grab bag of little gears. All right. Put those back. Okay. And somebody likes the international coffee things. So let's go with the international coffee here. Let's see, have fun. Have fun. Okay, I don't remember what's in this one here. Let's take a look in there. Oh yeah, okay, this is yeah, this is full of stuff here. Like I said, I think John cleaned out his little nut and bolt bins there. Oh yeah, this is where I saw the helical gears here. So these are designed to work at 90 degrees to one another here. Okay. So it's some, you know, some kind of instrument that was repaired or taken apart. There's some more left-hand thread, right-hand thread thingamajiggy here. Little shafts, little thumb screws. These are cool, little standoffs, you know. I mean, hey, that takes you 5 minutes or 10 minutes to make on the lathe, right? And if you have one, you can just grab it and go. Bronze bushing, who knows? All right. Anyway, cool stuff. All right, let's keep moving here. We got a lot more to go through. All right, let me put this away. All right, so we're going to speed up a little here. Got some feeler gauges here. Just kind of, you know, normal stuff here. It's like a complete set that's not all chowdered up. Made in the U.S. Okay, this one's got a little scale in it. A little smaller set. And then this one looks like it's a little more corroded there. Okay. But hey, if you need one, you need one. Okay, let's do that one. These are kind of cool for round threaded nuts. You got little code sheets here. So these are like spanners here, little pin spanners for face gears. Like some of those gears we were just looking at, some of them had holes in them. So these are like adjusting tools. Probably for a particular machine or instrument or something like that. You know, because these are pretty specific size-wise here. There's a tiny one there. And then these, okay, these are really cool. I like these here. these are adjustable spanners here, but you see how they're made? They're made out of bars, right? So they got one continuous bar here, and then this one is a hinge, so now you can get an adjustable pin spanner out of it, right? And it's relieved in the center there. So that's kind of a clever way to make those. So if you have to make one for a special job or something, that might be a cool way to make it. So you get a handle out of it, right? Because you have a bar going all the way through. But the hinge pivots are pretty easy to make. You can make those out of some pieces of stainless tubing or something, or rivets. Okay, and then same thing here, just tinier. So these are not, these are nice for little, lock nuts and things like that. So, okay, those are pretty cool. All right, moving on here. Let's see. All right, so this, blah, blah. All right, let's do some easy stuff here. We got a set of Silver and Deming drills. Doesn't look like, it looks like light usage here. And these are offshore brand, but they don't look too bad actually. So I wouldn't kick them out of bed for drilling a hole, that's for sure. So we'll probably pass these along. I have a full set of these. So somebody will be getting a little care package here of some drills. All right, so this next one here, it's a little set. This is pretty cool here. I don't think I've ever seen one like this before. Let's get this out of the way. You guys can kind of see this thing. This is just some Phillips bits. Here's a standard. So some people, a couple people at work call them plus and minus, right? So plus is a Phillips, minus. So if you say, hey, hand me a screwdriver, and they say, what kind? You say plus or minus, right? And plus, minus, right? Makes a little bit of sense. Okay, so this is cool. This is a Weltricord. I have no idea where this is made. Is there something on here? Chrome vanadium, so don't know. But it's kind of neat because it's got this side handle here, okay? And it's a ratchet, so you can do some high leverage stuff here. So a little collet deal, and then it's got a little driving mechanism there. So let's okay, so that's in. Tighten that up. Okay, so now, well, somebody hold this. There's nobody here. Okay, come on, Mr. Wizard. Can't even make the tool go. What did I do? Did I mess it up? Okay. All right, so let's just get on with it here. So it's got a little detent thing here, and you can actually flip this over so you can go the other way. Okay. And it's just a clever little, simple little mechanism there for changing directions on a ratchet, or you can lock it up like that, okay? And then this handle allows you to, to ratchet the thing, but you can push with this and then turn with this one. Oh wow, it's turning on the whole mess there. It doesn't really matter because that's driving that part. So it's kind of a high leverage screwdriver. Oh wait, what do we got there? Made in. Oh God, I can't quite read it there. Can't quite read it there. Dang it. Okay. Well, I didn't look it up either. So that's pretty cool. That's a neat little high leverage screwdriver there. Little set. So let's keep going here because we got more to show. John loaded this down with goodies here, so let's keep going. All right, we got a drill chuck. Okay, what is this? Made in U.S. Doesn't say Jacobs on it, but it looks like it's a drill takeoff here with a 3/8 or 5/16 24 yeah, 3/8 24 thread. Doesn't look like this saw much use. Maybe somebody put a cordless, or not a cordless, a keyless chuck, cordless, keyless chuck on. Okay, this is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have seen one of these. My grandfather had one of these, and I used to play with it when I was a little kid. I'd go over to their house, and he had this, it was actually a hammer, and it had a handle, and you unscrewed the handle, and it kind of looked like this, so it had a screwdriver. And then when you open this up, there was another screwdriver, okay? And then when you open this one up, there was another screwdriver. Okay, and then when you open this one up, there's another screwdriver. So it's the kind of the Russian dolls of screwdrivers there. And the one my grandfather had, like I said, it was a hammer and had all this same stuff. So it's probably made by the same outfit. That's kind of cool, though, huh? So actually, there's a good lathe project for somebody that wants to play around on the lathe. So you get to do lots of knurling and lots of threading in different sizes, and you can make a set of nesting tools like this, which is kind of cool, right? And put your own artistic flair on that. So Russian doll screwdriver. Made in the U.S. by, can't read it. I should get my magnifier over here. Okay, next. Couple of hammers. This is apparently a cute one. All right. So this is a dentist hammer here. No, I'm just kidding. So they didn't even bother to get rid of the pip there. Okay, and then this one here, he says needs help. Well, he's right. It does. It needs some help because somebody went nutty with with glue to glue the head on. Okay, although it's on there pretty good, huh? Let's see. Yeah, it's on there pretty good. So couple of all metal hammers. Now look at the knurl on that one. That's a cheese grater knurl there. So you pound for a while with that, and you powder your hands. Turn your hands to powder. So all right. All right. So we're continuing this Titanic package from John Murdoch, and we got some. It's powdered graphite, I believe. Yeah, and. I don't want to open those because once you open one of those, it ends up everywhere. Let's keep it in the bag so you can poof it into locks and different places to have a kind of a dry lube in there. Let's keep that sealed up. This is pretty cool here, nondescript little thing. And what this is it's a little slide rule, okay? It's a circular slide rule, okay? And my dad used to have one of these, and actually a big one, and it was made out of this kind of ceramic coated metal. This one's plastic, but this one will fit in your pocket here. And what's interesting is that it's a 3-inch diameter roughly, okay? So the effective length of this particular slide rule is, around 9 inches, okay? But it's bent around in a circle, so anyway, circular slide rule, so no batteries necessary. So teens, this is a calculator, okay? It's not an app, but it's a calculator, okay? All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's move on here. Next thing, we got, and he packed all this stuff up really nice. It took an hour to go through the thing, to pull it all out. So this looks like a busted ruler here. It's got the hallmark. Somebody with, and I've done this myself, you're prying with it or doing something you shouldn't be doing with it, and it snaps off. But most machinists save them because it's nice to have a little short ruler once in a while when you gotta reach in somewhere and jam it in there somewhere to get a measurement. So this is a Lufkin, and it's about 3 inches long now. All right, and so we're getting down to the end here. We're going to look at these next. These are pretty cool. All right, so these next one here, these are from John Murdoch. This is the big box from John. He calls them peakers, and they're Peak brand too. Peaker, and these are pretty cool. These are little pocket microscopes here. That's what these are. And I don't know if you can see it there. I'll move it around a little bit, but these have a little reticle on them. And so you can focus these. It's 7x power. And you can actually take measurements of objects that you set these on, okay? And this helps set the focal length there, and then you just focus it for your eye. Then you can actually take some measurements through the thing. So that one's got a linear scale on it. And let's look at the other one here. This one has kind of a vertical scale on it too, and I don't remember. I have to look through it here. This is here. Oh, thickness. So you can measure some thicknesses with this one here. Same thing, 7x, made by Peak, and they're meant to go right on top of something. So you can measure like line thicknesses and or groove thicknesses with this one here. Pretty cool. Those are very nice. I have one that has interchangeable reticles, but it's kind of a crummy one, and these are much nicer. John, thank you. Those are pretty cool. Those will come in kind of handy. All right. So this next one, this is the last piece of this super box from John Murdoch. He calls this the object de mystery, and the idea is that we guess, right? It's obviously some kind of leveling device. Okay, got some numbers on it. Actually, let me peel this off here. It's got some numbers on it here. 691A8-1. It looks like it mounts to the corner of something, It does have this, it's a rubber bushing here. So, maybe this, something plugs into that comes off of the corner of whatever it is. Now remember that John was he's a map maker or a photo, aerial photographer, right? Aerial photographer. So this might be something related to aerial photography or photography in general. It does have this kind of military look to it. Oh wow, this is interesting here. It's got it has the alloy, the aluminum alloy there, 356 T6. That's interesting. You usually don't see the aluminum alloy identified on a casting like this. So, and the other thing that's kind of interesting too is you have 0 and then some increments and then 5. So I suspect this is kind of calibrated as an angle, because that seems to me that could be 5 degrees right there. I haven't checked it, but excuse me, when you tip it and you line the bubble up with the 5, that could be 5 degrees. Or actually, where's that? This thing here. Yeah, that could easily be 5 degrees. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just kind of visually looking at what 5 degrees looks like over that distance, right? And I could buy that. So, maybe it's has to do with aiming a camera or something too, as you can set it at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 degrees in two axes. Don't know. Now, John was kind enough to include an answer. Now it's still sealed here. I haven't opened it yet. Okay, haven't opened it yet. So we'll let some comments come in and let people guess at what this is. And then, maybe next week's Meatloaf we'll open this up and see what John says it is. Anyway, John, this was just absolutely fantastic. All this neat stuff that you sent. It was just fun, just a pleasure to go through. And I really appreciate you taking the time to send that in. Thank you, sir. Okay, so here's my tool holder rack here, and it's just built out of the unistrut, and it kind of sits behind the lathe a little bit. Well, I've actually run out of slots, so what I've decided to do is extend it a little bit, and the penalty for extending it down, pretty far down there is pretty low. So I bought a chunk of unistrut, cut it in half, and we're going to use those two longer pieces, and then we're going to tune up these little Simpson strong tie brackets here to act as the guides. Well, first thing I got to do, I got to empty the darn thing out here. So let me get that cleared out, and we'll take all the brackets off and strip it all down, and then we'll mount the new pieces. See here's my filming. This is part of my filming rig here. This is a articulating Noga-like mount that I use. It's isolated from the lathe too, so that it doesn't pick up vibrations. So, but let's fold that out of the way. Get it back. Okay. I got to pull those cables out of there and then get that light off. All right, here's the big long one. Bolt ski in there. See, that's where those one-handed clamps are real handy. So, I was thinking about putting one more 45 in there, but I don't have one, and it looks like it's going to be strong enough. I'll get some weight on here and see what it looks like. Of course. Actually, I got the stud stuff here. Pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to put these brackets on, and then I got some more that I'm going to prep where I deburr them and I taper them a little bit so that the tool blocks go on easier. Let me get those on, and I'll show you how I'm spacing them apart so that they're kind of even. Now that I have more length from the rack, I can put them a little farther apart, which leaves me a little more room to get a hold of them. Not that it was bad before, but it was just, you know, I got a little more space here I can work with. All right, so let's prep some brackets for the next couple I'm going to add on. All right, first step is deburr. As you're handling them, you know, when you're belt sanding them. Okay, that's all the edges there. So when I work a piece like this, I try to do one side at a time, work my way around. That way I don't miss an edge. Okay, and then I flip it over and I go around that edge. Okay. And then, you know, I feel it with my hands, make sure I didn't bozo and miss one. Okay. Alright, let me finish these and we'll go over to the belt sander. Alright, so ready to do a little belt sanding here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to taper these slightly like that to form a little lead in, and then radius at corner, and then radius these two corners here, just to soften those a little bit. So let's tear it up here. Hearing protection. Okay, you ready for loud noise? Alright guys, so there's the new deal. You know what I thought I'd do? A lot of people ask me about the different tools that I use on the lathe, so this might be a good opportunity to kind of talk about them as I put them back. Let's see here, how do I want to do that? Well, we'll start with the parting stuff. So this is just a high-speed parting tool. I like this for plastics and stuff like that. High speed, you can get a little sharper and a little less pressure. Let's put it there. Okay, next one. This is an ISCAR self-grip, and it's a retrofit for an Aloris holder. Works pretty good, the self-grip tool, and you can just pop the inserts out. It's good for deep parting. Next one, another ISCAR tool, another self-grip, but a little skinnier. And it's in a fixed holder, and this is good for tubes and small diameter stuff. Alright, moving on down the road here. This is your standard Adam favorite here, CNMG 432. It's a negative tool, 4 cutting edges, pretty economical inserts. Higher tool pressure than others. So here's the same thing, but a left-handed version. Okay, and I'm just going to put that on backwards like that, so they're all kind of going the same way, right? Okay, and then this is a CCGT. This is a positive insert, real sharp, light tool pressure. Lots of choices in that shape. Okay, so that's one of my faves. And here's a similar one. This is for steel finishing, this one here. So this one here, you can see the difference. That's steel finishing, and that's plastics and softer materials there, aluminum, things like that. Okay. All right, let's keep going. These things are heavy. Okay, the good old 45-degree chamfer tool. I got one on each side. That way I can work this way or I can work this way, and I don't have to swap the tool around and mess around with that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is another one of my faves here. WNMG, and this is a PP type chip breaker, which makes it kind of positive. This is kind of a good all-around tool there, so works good on a lot of different things. Aluminum, stainless, steel, you can get away with a lot with that one. So, okay, let's see. Then we got some boring bars, CCGT, little boring bar there. And this shim just brings it up and gets it closer to the center line. So that's all that is. Okay. And same thing here. A little bit bigger one. And carbide shank boring bar. So we'll put that little monkey in there. And then this is triangle. So it's a T. Now this is a TP something because it's positive. Okay. The insert seat's flat. This one works good on steel. All right. What else we got over here? Keep on going. So here's a little hand ground job there. Little V-groove looking thing. I was doing some profiling with that the other day. All right. And one of my new holders here. And this is a DNMG, I think is what that is. And this is a DW or DV. Oh no, this is a V, not a W. So that's a VNMG. Okay, there we go. And this is a DVJNR holder there. So, okay. And then get a big fat boring bar holder here. This one's going to be hard to hold up. And this uses those WNMG same as that one, same inserts as that one. That one's hard to hold up, guys. Stick that in there. Hey, okay. So I think I got all the new ones on there. And yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that other 45-degree bracket here. I mean, it's okay. It's moving a little bit, but I don't know. It's probably all right. Okay. Thanks for watching.